Welcome back to USA Coin. Today we're diving into the world of Kennedy half dollars, one of the most iconic US coins. We'll be counting down the top 5 most valuable Kennedy half dollars, revealing their history, key dates, and current market values. So, if you're ready, let's get started. First up, the Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. Originally, these coins were composed of 90% silver, but by 1971, the US Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition due to rising silver prices. The 1983 Kennedy half dollar followed this standard and was struck at both the Philadelphia, MP, and Denver mints, with proof versions produced in San Francisco S. Over 63 million were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and over 32 million at the Denver Mint, making it a common coin in circulation. However, despite its high mintage, certain factors make this coin interesting to collectors. The composition of the 1983 Kennedy half dollar consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This results in the distinctive silvery appearance of the coin, though it lacks any actual silver content. It weighs 11.34 grams and has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. The obverse of the coin features the iconic left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse showcases the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparro. While the 1983 Kennedy half dollar in average circulated condition is typically worth its face value of 50 cents, uncirculated examples can fetch higher prices. A well-preserved, high-grade example in MS65 or higher can be worth between $5 and $20. The real value, however, comes from error coins and high-grade specimens certified by top grading services. The 1983 P half dollar is known for some notable strike errors, such as off-center strikes and doubling in the lettering, which can significantly increase its value. Additionally, proof versions from San Francisco, especially those with deep cameo contrast, are highly sought after by collectors. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1983 Kennedy half dollar is the presence of no FG, no designer initials errors. On the reverse side, just to the right of the eagle's tail feathers, there should be the initials FG for designer Frank Gasparro. However, in some cases, weak strikes or die polishing resulted in these initials being completely missing. These no FG varieties are rare and can command higher prices, with some selling for hundreds of dollars in high-grade condition. Another key factor in determining a coin's value is its condition and grade. Coin grading ranges from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, with MS65 or higher being the most desirable for collectors. Coins that exhibit full luster, strong strike details, and minimal blemishes tend to fetch the highest prices. Many collectors submit their coins to professional grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, to obtain a certified grade, which can significantly enhance the coin's market value. Additionally, some 1983 Kennedy half dollars exhibit strong die cracks or other anomalies that interest error collectors. These small but unique features add character to a collection and can also increase a coin's desirability in numismatic circles. It is always recommended to inspect your coins carefully under magnification and compare them with known error varieties. Although the Kennedy half dollar is no longer widely used in daily commerce, it remains a popular coin among collectors. The 1983 issue, despite its high mintage, can still hold value in certain conditions or if it exhibits rare errors. It's always a great idea to check your pocket change or coin collections for hidden gems, as you never know when you might come across a valuable variety. Next up, the Kennedy half dollar series was first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy following his tragic assassination in November 1963. Initially composed of 90% silver, the US Mint reduced the silver content to 40% in 1965, and by 1971, Kennedy half dollars were transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition due to the rising cost of silver. The 1972 Kennedy half dollar continued in this copper-nickel-clad format and was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco S for proof coins. The composition of the 1972 Kennedy half dollar consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This gives the coin a silvery appearance while containing no silver content. It weighs 11.34 grams and has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. The obverse of the coin features the iconic left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by chief engraver Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse showcases the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparro. The total mintage for 1,972 Kennedy half dollars was significant, with over 153 million coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, over 141 million at the Denver Mint, and approximately 3.26 million proof coins at the San Francisco Mint. Due to this high mintage, the coin is common in circulated condition, and often found in pocket change, though certain varieties and errors make specific coins more valuable to collectors. While most 1,972 Kennedy half dollars in circulated condition hold only their face value of 50 cents, uncirculated examples in MS-65 or higher can command between $5 and $30, depending on their mint mark and condition. The most valuable 1,972 Kennedy half dollars tend to be those with rare errors or varieties, such as the 1,972D No FG, no designer initials variety. The No FG error occurs when excessive die polishing removes the FG initials of designer Frank Gasparro from the reverse of the coin, located to the right of the eagle's tail feathers. These rare error coins have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars in high-grade condition. Another variety of interest is the 1,972 Kennedy half dollar, with doubling in the lettering or date, commonly referred to as a doubled die error. While not as well documented as doubled dies from other years, collectors still seek out these anomalies as they can command higher prices depending on the clarity of the doubling. A key factor in determining the value of a 1,972 Kennedy half dollar is its grade. Coin grading ranges from poor to mint state MS-60, with coins in MS-65 or higher being the most desirable. Coins with strong luster, sharp details, and minimal blemishes can fetch premium prices. Collectors often submit their coins to professional grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, to authenticate their grade, which can significantly enhance the coin's market value. Some 1,972 Kennedy half dollars also exhibit die cracks or other striking anomalies, making them appealing to error collectors. These small imperfections add uniqueness to a collection and can increase a coin's desirability within the numismatic community. It is always a great idea to carefully inspect your coins under magnification to identify any potential errors or varieties. Despite the Kennedy half dollar's limited use in daily commerce today, it remains a highly popular collectible. Many collectors enjoy building sets of Kennedy half dollars, seeking out high-grade examples, error coins, and key varieties from different years. The 1,972 issue, while common, can still hold significant value depending on its condition and any rare characteristics it may possess. Checking your pocket change or old coin collections for a well-preserved or error 1,972 Kennedy half dollar could be rewarding. Next up, the 1,984 Kennedy half dollar is part of the long-standing series that's been around since 1964. The coin features the well-known portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts. If you take a close look, you'll notice the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" to the left and right of Kennedy's image, with the date, in this case 1,984, prominently displayed at the bottom. On the reverse side, you'll see the classic eagle design created by Frank Gasparro. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, which symbolize peace and strength, and surrounding the eagle are the words United States of America, half dollar, and E pluribus unum. By the time the 1,984 Kennedy half dollar was struck, it wasn't commonly used in circulation anymore. While it was still produced by the US Mint, most of these coins weren't intended for everyday use. The 1,984 half dollar, like many other coins of that era, was primarily produced for collectors. If you're searching for one of these coins, you'll find that the mint marks can vary, and this can influence both the rarity and value of the coin. The 1,984 Kennedy half dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from the Philadelphia Mint have no mint mark, while the Denver Mint coins feature a D, and the San Francisco Mint coins, which were proof coins, have an S. So, how much is the 1,984 Kennedy half dollar worth? Well, if you've got one in your pocket and it's in average circulated condition, it's probably only worth face value 50 cents. But don't let that discourage you, because this coin can be worth a lot more, especially if it's in uncirculated or proof condition. A proof coin from 1984, which was specially made for collectors, can be worth between $2 to $5 depending on its condition. Proof coins are struck with extra care and usually have a higher level of detail and a shiny mirror-like finish that makes them stand out from standard circulation coins. For those of you with high-grade, uncirculated 1984 Kennedy half dollars, you might be able to sell them for $10 or even more, especially if there's demand from collectors looking for that perfect specimen. If you take a closer look at the composition of the 1984 Kennedy half dollar, you'll notice that while it may appear to be silver, it's actually made from a copper-nickel clad composition. This was the case for all half dollars after 1970. The inner core is pure copper and the outer layers are made of nickel, giving the coin its silver-like appearance but without the actual silver content. Overall, the 1984 Kennedy half dollar is an interesting and affordable coin for collectors, especially for those who focus on proof coins or high-grade examples. Even though it's not the most famous coin in the Kennedy half dollar series, it still holds historical value and can be a valuable addition to your collection if you happen to find one in great condition. So, if you ever come across a 1984 Kennedy half dollar in your pocket, change, or in a coin roll hunt, make sure to check its condition. You might be holding on to something worth a bit more than just its face value. Next up, the 1988 Kennedy half dollar is part of the long-running series that honors President John F. Kennedy. The design on this coin is essentially the same as the one introduced in 1964. On the obverse, you'll find a profile of President Kennedy, created by sculptor Gilroy Roberts. His face is surrounded by the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the date of minting, in this case, 1988. The mint mark, which can be found below the date, will tell you where the coin was produced. Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, S; or San Francisco. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the classic eagle design by Frank Gasparo. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. The inscription, United States of America, arches above the eagle, with half dollar below it, and E Pluribly Unius Unum written in the scroll across the eagle's wings. Now, let's talk about the historical context. By 1988, the Kennedy half dollar was no longer used much in everyday transactions. Although it was still being produced, half dollars were rarely seen in circulation. The coin was primarily minted for collectors, and many of the 1988 Kennedy half dollars were struck in proof or uncirculated versions. These coins were not intended for everyday use, and this is one of the reasons why the Kennedy half dollar became more of a collector's item over time. When it comes to the value of the 1988 Kennedy half dollar, it depends on its condition and minting type. If you happen to have a standard circulated coin, its value is generally just its face value, 50 cents. This is because most of the coins from 1988 that were released into circulation have little to no collector demand. However, there's more to the story if you have a proof or uncirculated version. A proof coin from 1988 produced specifically for collectors can be worth anywhere from $2 to $5 depending on its condition. Proof coins are struck with more care than regular coins and typically have a mirrored finish that makes the details stand out. These coins are often sought after by collectors looking for high-quality specimens. If you have an uncirculated 1988 Kennedy half dollar, it could be worth a little more than face value as well. A coin in excellent condition could fetch around $10 or more, especially if it's one of the higher-grade examples. The key to value in these coins is primarily the condition and how well it has been preserved over time. Let's also take a quick look at the mint marks for the 1988 Kennedy half dollar. The coin was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, the ones from Denver are marked with a D, and the coins from San Francisco, which were proof coins, have an S. Proof coins, especially those from the San Francisco Mint, are often in higher demand due to their superior quality and their special status as collector's items. While the 1988 Kennedy half dollar isn't one of the rarest coins in the series, it's still a valuable piece of American numismatic history, especially if you can find it in excellent condition. Like most of the Kennedy half dollars produced after 1970, the 1988 version is made from a copper-nickel clad composition. This means that although the coin might look silver, it's actually made of a copper core with outer layers of nickel. It's a durable and cost-efficient material. but it also means the coin doesn't have any silver content, like the earlier Kennedy half dollars from 1964. In summary, while the 1988 Kennedy half dollar might not be a rare or particularly high-value coin, it's still an interesting and collectible piece of US coinage. If you come across one in circulation or have one tucked away in a collection, make sure to check its condition and mint mark. Proof and uncirculated versions can be worth more than just face value, and they're great pieces to add to any coin collection. Next up, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar is part of the Kennedy half dollar series, which was introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. The design on the 1985 coin follows the same iconic layout as the earlier issues in the series. On the obverse, you'll find a profile of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His likeness is surrounded by the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the year of minting, in this case, 1985. The mint mark, which tells you where the coin was produced, can be found beneath the date. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, those from Denver have a D, and proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint feature an S. Turning the coin over, you'll see the classic reverse design created by Frank Gasparo. The reverse features a bold eagle which holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other. This design symbolizes peace and strength. Above the eagle, you'll see the inscription, United States of America, with $50 below it, and E Pluribus Unum on the banner across the eagle's wings. By 1985, the Kennedy half dollar was no longer in widespread circulation. While the coin was still being produced by the US Mint, the use of half dollars in daily transactions had decreased significantly. As a result, most of the 1985 Kennedy half dollars were struck for collectors rather than being released into regular circulation. This meant that most of the coins minted were either proof or uncirculated coins, both of which are specially made for collectors and are generally in much better condition than circulation coins. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1985 Kennedy half dollar. If you have a circulated coin, it's generally worth just its face value, 50 cents. However, if you have a proof or uncirculated version of the 1985 Kennedy half dollar, the value can increase significantly. Proof coins are produced with a higher level of detail and finish, often featuring a mirror-like surface. These coins were created specifically for collectors and are usually worth more than face value. A proof 1985 Kennedy half dollar can be worth anywhere from $2 to $5, depending on its condition and the market demand at the time. For uncirculated coins, those that have been preserved in mint condition and never used in circulation, the value can also rise. A high-quality, uncirculated 1985 Kennedy half dollar might fetch anywhere from $5 to $10, or even more for a coin in exceptional condition. Mint marks also play a role in determining the value of the coin. The 1985 Kennedy half dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins are marked with a D, and San Francisco coins, which are proof coins, carry the S mint mark. Proof coins from San Francisco tend to be the most desirable for collectors, and they're often valued higher than the standard circulation coins. It's important to note that like other Kennedy half dollars struck after 1970, the 1985 coin is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than the silver used in the earlier issues of the series. This composition consists of a copper core with outer layers of nickel, which gives the coin its silver-like appearance. Although the coin looks like silver, it doesn't contain any actual silver, which affects its melt value and collector demand. While the 1985 Kennedy half dollar may not be the rarest or most valuable coin in the series, it's still an important piece of US coinage. As part of the long-standing tradition of honoring President Kennedy, it represents a piece of American history, and for collectors, finding one in excellent condition, especially a proof or high-grade uncirculated coin, can be a great addition to their collection. So, if you come across a 1985 Kennedy half dollar, it's worth taking a closer look. If it's in great shape, especially if it's a proof or uncirculated coin, it could be worth more than just its face value. Next up, the Kennedy half dollar series has been a staple of US coinage since 1964, created to honor the legacy of President John F. Kennedy following his tragic assassination. The 1974 coin, like most Kennedy half dollars from this era, features the same design that was introduced in 1964. On the obverse side, we see a profile of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His image is surrounded by the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the year of minting, in this case 1974. The mint mark, located just beneath the date, will tell you where the coin was produced. If there's no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, and a cess denotes it was struck in San Francisco. This is important to note, as mint marks can influence the coin's rarity and value. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the iconic eagle design by Frank Gasparo. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, which symbolizes peace and strength. Above the eagle, the inscription "United States of America" arches across the top, with $50 beneath the eagle and "E Plubrius Unium" on the scroll across the eagle's wings. Now, let's talk about the historical context of the 1974 Kennedy $50. By this time, the Kennedy $50 had been produced for a decade, but it was no longer used in everyday transactions. While the coin was still being minted, $50 weren't commonly found in circulation after 1900 in circulation. Led to most of the coins being produced for collectors. As a result, the 1974 Kennedy $50 was primarily issued in proof and uncirculated sets, with many of these coins never actually being used in day-to-day transactions. So, what's the value of the 1974 Kennedy $50? If you have a regular circulated coin, it's worth only its face value, 50 cents. Most coins from this year, like many others in the series, were produced in large numbers, meaning they aren't particularly rare or valuable in circulated condition. However, if you have a proof or uncirculated version of the 1974 Kennedy $50, its value can be higher. A proof coin, which was specially made for collectors and has a shiny, mirror-like surface, can be worth anywhere from $2 to $5, depending on its condition. These coins were struck with extra care, making them highly sought after by collectors. Uncirculated coins from the 1974 series can also be worth more than face value. These coins, which were preserved in pristine condition and never used in circulation, can be worth around $5 to $10, especially if they're graded in higher levels of quality. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin can become. The mint marks of the 1974 Kennedy $50 are also something to keep an eye on. The coins minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver are marked with a D, and proof coins from San Francisco bear an S mint mark. The San Francisco proofs are generally more valuable to collectors as they were specially produced for collectors and often have higher quality. It's also worth noting that, like most Kennedy $50 from 1971 onward, the 1974 Kennedy $50 is made of a copper nickel-clad composition rather than being made of solid silver like the 1964 version. The coin consists of a copper core and is clad in layers of nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance. Although it looks similar to the earlier silver versions, it doesn't contain any precious metals and has little intrinsic melt value. In summary, the 1974 Kennedy $50 isn't particularly rare, but it still holds some collector interest, especially if you have proof or uncirculated versions in great condition. While most circulated 1974 Kennedy $50 are worth just face value, proof and uncirculated versions can be worth anywhere from a couple of dollars to $10 or more, depending on the condition and mint mark. So, if you come across a 1974 Kennedy $50 in your coin roll hunting or just in your collection, make sure to check its condition and mint mark. A high-quality proof coin or uncirculated specimen could be worth much more than 50 cents.